to Gallery Grow at Home. Today we're going to be making a terrarium. This is the bubble, and I picked out some succulents for today's project. Throughout the video I'll reference our plant instruction sheet that you can find in store, or if you're watching from home, it's probably in your kit. You can pause whenever you need to. Here in front of me I have all the supplies we need. I have stones for drainage. I have charcoal. Charcoal helps with keeping the soil impurities out. It acts as a terrarium filter. We also have our soil here. Because I picked succulents, I have the succulent soil. If you picked terrarium plants, you would have terrarium or plant soil. I also went downstairs a while and I picked out a couple of decorations. I have my gnome. I'm feeling more mythical and fantasy like a unicorn. And I picked some extra little tree bark to add at the end. So we're just going to get started. You can follow along, but the first step is some stones. I'm only going to put about an inch or two at the bottom. You don't want too much, put enough to cover the base. That's pretty good. All right, next is our charcoal. It even says on here in store, but I'll read it for you guys at home. It says, use sparingly, 1 little teaspoon peppered evenly over drainage stones is all that's necessary. So you definitely don't want a lot of charcoal, just enough. You want to spread it out a little. Think of it like you're cooking, like a little bit more, a dash of that. There you go, good. Next is gonna be some succulent soil. I'm probably only going to put like a half a layer of soil because I can always go back and add more later. But I want just enough that when I go to add my succulents in, it's just enough that I can add some more layers onto it. And again, I'm just going to put enough that I can cover the stones and the charcoal so that I don't see it anymore. And if you're fancy like me, I'm going to use some of these tools that we have in store. I like to spread out my dirt. I like an even layer. Just going to make it nice and even. And I might add a little bit more actually. I can still see a little bit of my bottom. All right, so that's pretty good. The next step is I'm just going to take the plants out of their little pots. Now when you take them out, they might be like this one. You can really see the roots. They're nice and strong. I just kind of pinch them a little, loosen them up. That's how plants get root bound. If the roots are still, it's all right if you make a mess. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna lay them out how I want them. And again, you're not married to however you place them. You can move things around. All right, break up the roots. This one's a little taller. I'll put it in the back. All right. Now, if you have a cactus at home, I'm not wearing gloves, but just be careful. You don't want to get pricked. So this one I might just kind of squeeze and dump. I don't want it to touch my fingers. I'll grab from the bottom. And I got a little bit of dirt all over my cactus. It's okay. I just brush it off. There we go. Much better. This one's a little bit taller too, so I'll probably, here. It's okay if it crumbles apart. Cacti are typically drier. Stick him in the back. And the last one, again, pinching, slowly pulling it out. I feel like plants are rough. Not rough, but they can handle a little bit of rough touch. It's okay. They crumble a little. All right. Oh. I can already tell I need more soil. So that leads me right into the next step. I'm gonna add some more dirt. I'm just gonna start sprinkling it around all of my succulents. And there's no rush. You can go as fast or as slow as you want. Talk to your friends, drink some wine. Okay. And I always like to add a little bit, not a lot, just because it's easier to put dirt in than it is to take it out. Again, there's that cactus. I don't want to get pricked by it. It's very delicate. All right. Need to be a little bit. All right. Should have had some holes dug. So if you're like me, you can already tell that they need some more support. You start using your fingers. Get twist it a little, add some more dirt, spread it around with your fingers. Some of it still needs a little bit more. All right. Now while we're thinking about it, the next steps after you have the right amount of dirt that you want is you can use moss, there's sand, there's stones. I think what I'm gonna try and do is make it so that the dirt level is a little bit higher in the back and maybe slopes a little bit to the front. That way it looks like my little gnome has a little bit of a path going down the middle. And again, I got some dirt on some of my cactus. I'm just gonna brush it off. Good. And it's okay if things fall over, if something's not staying in place. We're learning as we go. And if you're at home and you were invited over to your friend's house and they're the pro and you're learning from them, congrats to you. Welcome to the terrarium world. We're just having fun today. It's therapeutic. Terrariums are like their own self-contained little environment. Different from houseplants in every way. And like I said, today I picked the bubble. You could have picked any other type of glassware. We have all different kinds of shapes and sizes in store. Half the fun is picking out what you're going to be making today. So that looks pretty good. I think I want to add something else. So I picked red moss because I was looking at the red in the gnome's hat. I'm just going to start spreading some around. You don't have to cover all of the dirt that you just put in. These are more like accents. You can use as little or as much as you want. So I'm going to put more red around the plants rather than, say, around the whole edge. Kind of want the red to accent against the green. If you had picked all terrarium plants, there would probably be a little bit more color to it. Sometimes there's pinks, there's purples. Succulents are more green, so I think the accents would have to do more of the adding the color to your project today. So already I can tell the red is going to make it pop, which we love. So look, there's a stick in here. I'll put it in my project. All right. Okay, here's my little piece of bark. I think I might put him near my gnome. Actually, let's put it over here. Let's find a spot for my gnome. Maybe up here in the front. And actually, I want something to draw attention down the slope, so I have these black pebble rocks. I guess they're called river rocks. I'm just gonna line them up. I want some bigger ones, actually. I'll just slowly place them in here. You could layer things however you want. You can put stones on top of the moss. You can use accent pieces, you cannot. This is your project. You make it how you want. Yeah, that already looks like he walked down the little path to his sitting spot to read. I just realized he's holding a book. And I have my unicorn. I didn't forget about my unicorn. Where to put it? Maybe over here, watching from a distance. There we go. Still feels a little bit bland, so I'm going to put some more moss, maybe over here. And over time, as your project grows in your home, the moss might lose some of its color. That's okay. You can always refresh the moss. You can always keep after your plants, like if they start to outgrow your glassware, like this guy, he might get a little tall, maybe that one gets a little tall. You can always transplant in your own project. You can revisit, move things around. It's your project. You can do with it however you want. All right, one more piece of moss, and let's move on to something else. Stick some back here. Looks pretty good. I like the red, but I still think it needs something more. So, my gnome here has a blue shirt on, so I'm trying to pull out the colors for my gnome. I have some blue sand. I'm sensing sort of like a fantasy vibe, so maybe this is more of like, I don't know, he's down by the river reading. So I'm just gonna grab a spoon. Maybe my blue sand is my water. So I'm just gonna sprinkle some down here around my gnome. It's like he's reading down by the pool. I'm just going to use my spoon, pat it down. And I want it to go around the whole front of my project. Sand's probably harder to fix, so if you have sand in your project and you're going to use it to create, I would just be pretty certain of where you want to put it. Because moss, I can pick up and move. A stone, I can move. Sand, it's a little harder, so we'll just have to stick with our original thought. Looks pretty good. Maybe a little bit more. Okay. And then I do still have yet, but wait, there's more. I have some little rocks, and just like with the big rocks, it's black, it's against the red. I don't want to put some little rocks in my project yet, so I might put some down in the water to make it look like little seashells. Boop, 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 boop. That looks like he's reading by the ocean with some little seashells. Maybe I'll put some here. And there's no such thing as too much or not enough. You keep going till you feel like your project is finished. If you want more stones, well then you borrow your friend's stones and you have more stones. That's okay. And see, I already got some stones here in my plant, so just brush it out. And then maybe a little bit more over here, and then I think I might call it a day. And there's no comparing projects at home. Everyone's making their own. Creativity is a process. It's not a race, we'll all get there. If you're having fun doing this, then you're doing it right. That's the rule. I just made that up, but that's the rule. Very good. All right. I think I'm just about done. So now let's double check here and make sure we did all the steps right. I'm gonna go over the little sheet here. So I started with my half layer of drainage rocks, check. Sprinkle a layer of charcoal, check. I did soil, check. I broke the plants away, put them in the dirt, check. I added soil to cover the roots of my plant, check. And I added decorative elements such as pebbles and moss. So I'd say we're all set. What do you guys think?